theories of language learning. So, as the course title is Approaches and Methods in ELT, that means English Language Teaching, I think that this class is the core class regarding the understanding of approaches and method. We have learned very simple definition that approaches will be the theory relating language learning and language teaching. So the theoretical, and what is the theory? Theory is assumption, hypothesis, that could be the theory relating to language learning or learning driving, like that. Okay, that is the theory. And method is the process through which that theory will be tested and will be taught, will be learned, that is method. And technique, the classroom activities that we have seen. So a particular teaching method is derived from a particular theory. Okay, so one theory will derive a different kind of method. So one theory can derive one method or different type of method, and one method can derive several kinds of techniques. Okay, so and that theories will be based on the nature of language. Okay, and an approach is or a method respond to two questions relating to language theory. So we have understood that a theory will derive a method, but a method can respond to two kinds of theories. Okay, what type of theories are there? The first question is there: what are the psycholinguistic and cognitive process involved in language teaching? So method will go towards the psychological and cognitive development of language theory. And another one, what are the conditions that need to be met in order for this learning process to be activated? So one, cognitive development, another is learning condition. One, cognitive development, and another is learning condition. Let's have a little bit elaborate discussion. So learning theories associated with a method at the level of approach may emphasize either one or both of these dimensions. What are the dimensions? I said that is psycholinguistic and cognitive process, and another one, context or condition. So one theory or one method may respond to one, that means psychological or cognitive development, or it may go for the both process, that is psychological development and language learning condition. Let's make elaborate discussion more than that. Process oriented theories. So I said two kinds of theories. Okay, process oriented theories built on language processes like habit formation. So language theory will be dealing how your habit will be formed. So language theory will help you to understand that how the habit of a learner can be formed. Or induction. Induction means discarding or putting something inside. Inferencing, that means taking one reference to another reference. Hypothesis testing, okay, and also generalization. These are the process oriented theories. So language theories can one kind be process oriented theories. That means that theories will help you to understand the habit formation, your hypothesis, your generalization, how you can input your language data within the language learner. Okay, so that is. And condition oriented theories, another type of language theories, emphasize the nature of the human, that is cognitive development, and physical context. So the nature of human and the physical context in which language learning or teaching are taking place. So one is condition oriented theories, language theories, and another type is process oriented theories. Okay. And process-oriented theories will process your behavior, and condition-oriented theories will be delivering the human condition. That means understanding and keeping someone inside your brain. That is condition-oriented. So, thing is that language theory will derive method, and method can be synonymous to process-oriented theories. That means the habit formation, or it can be condition-oriented theories, just like human understanding. For example, Stephen D. Krashen's monitor model is a learning theory on which a method is called natural approach or method is derived. Okay, so a language learning theory that was given by Stephen D. Krashen, and that theory is called monitor model. Okay, and monitor model has 5 hypotheses. Okay, and from that theory a method is derived, that is the natural method. So which is the theory? That is the monitor model, and from that theory one method is derived, that is the natural method or natural approach, natural method we should say. Okay, so monitor theory inspires both the process and the condition dimension of learning. So what are the process and condition dimension? Process means habit formation and condition means understanding. Okay, this monitor model, I have said how many hypotheses? 5 hypotheses. Okay, and some 1 or 2 hypotheses are relating to condition language learning, condition oriented process, and some other will be habit formation, that means the process oriented process. Okay, so our concern is that the language theory will derive method. So there is an example that Stephen D. Krashen's monitor model derives a method that can be called natural method. And another thing is that we have said that a method can respond to the one aspect of language, that means the process oriented, that is the cognitive development, okay, or condition oriented, that is the psychological understanding or other. So this natural method will respond to both, that means the process oriented and condition oriented. How? In the process level, Krashen's monitor model distinguishes between acquisition and learning. So one hypothesis, the first hypothesis in Krashen's monitor model, he has given the distinction between acquisition and learning. So how language is acquired and how language is learned, that definition has been given by Stephen D. Krashen in his monitor model. So that will be responding to process oriented level. So method will be responding to process oriented and condition oriented level. It means that acquisition refers to the natural assimilation of language roles through using language for communication. That is, in his hypothesis, Stephen D. Krashen has given definition of acquisition. Acquisition means refers to the natural assimilation. Natural assimilation means to get together. So natural togetherness of the language data, that is called acquisition. Okay, so that is the theory relating to our understanding. Whereas learning refers to the formal study, language roles, and is a conscious process. Many of you may know the definition of learning. The learning is what you are doing now. That means we are learning language or anything consciously. That is called learning. We we know the definition, but we didn't know the definition. That is the process-oriented theory of Stephen D. Krashen. How language is processed. How language is processed. Okay. So language in processed in 2 different ways, that is acquisition and learning. Again, Krashen mentioned the learning is available and learned only as a monitor. Monitor means a learner will be monitoring his or her learning. Okay. That is monitor. The monitor is the reflection of conscious grammatical knowledge about the language. Okay. Sometimes we say that the foreigner speaks some language, Bangla language. Ami, khai, bhat. Okay. Naturally, he doesn't know the language sense. Okay. But when we speak in our mother tongue, Bengali, we can understand that in which portion we are making mistake. How did we know that? কিভাবে আমরা শিখেছি? আমরা কি গ্রামার শিখেছি স্কুলে? কথা বলার সময় 1 2 3 থেকে বাংলা গ্রামার শিখছি? শিখে নাই। তো যদি শিখে না থাকি তাহলে আমরা গ্রামারটা শুদ্ধভাবে বলছি কিভাবে এবং অন্য ফরেনাররা যখন ভুল করছে তখন আমরা বুঝতে পারছি কিভাবে? হাসাহাসি করছি কিভাবে? That is Stephen de Krashen said that is the monitor. So monitor is a process that will be within every language learner, and monitor is the reflection of the grammatical knowledge about a language. So what would be happening for our mother tongue? Same thing will be happening in case of learning our second or foreign language. That means at the time of delivering our lecture, sometimes we may make mistake. So whenever we will make mistake, we can say, oh, sorry, I repeat it once again. Okay, আমি আবার বলছি। সংবাদ পড়তে পড়তে বলে না যে দুঃখিত আমি আবার পড়ছি। আগে বলতো এরকম বাংলা সংবাদ, এখন আর সেটা করে না এখন। Okay, so that is the conscious grammatical knowledge about a language, that is the monitor, and learned through a formal instruction, and that is called upon the editing of the utterance produced through a acquired system. So learned system and also acquired system. But monitor, what is the monitor? That conscious grammatical knowledge of every learner, and with that conscious grammatical knowledge you yourself can correct your mistakes or errors at the time of speaking or writing. That is the monitor. So we are discussing that language theory will derive method. So what is the theory? Theory is the monitor method, and what is the method? Natural method. Okay, so that is. So Krashen's theory also addresses the condition necessary for the acquisition of text place. So this condition he has said about the process. Now Krashen's theory has also thought about the context or the condition of learning process and text place. He said, Krashen described that this term is called input. Okay, that was input. Input, what type of input? He said that should be comprehensible input. That means input should be understandable, it would be interesting, and it would be out of fear. Out of fear, that means out of anxiety. He said. Okay. যদি আপনার ভয় থাকে যে আপনি এখানে ফেল করলে আপনাকে হলো বাংলাদেশের ভিসা বাতিল করে দেওয়া হবে, এরকম যদি ভয় থাকে তাহলে ভয়ের জন্যই আপনার ন্যাচারাল যে অ্যাবিলিটি সেটাকে আপনি ফ্লারিশ করতে পারবেন না। বাট Stephen de Krashen didn't eradicate the idea of anxiety, much anxiety. Okay, he said less anxiety is available. যদি আপনার anxiety না, don't fear, whatever, so what, whatever যাই বলুক না কেন, so what, যাই বলুক না কেন, so what, আপনি ফেল করবেন, so what, আপনার টাকা নষ্ট হবে, so what. So if there is no anxiety, learning will not be happening. So less anxiety. So input must be comprehensible, slightly above the learner's present level. Okay, so this is we are talking about condition. So slightly above the learner's present level of competence, interesting or relevant or grammatically sequenced in sufficient quantity and experienced in low anxiety context. Low anxiety context. He didn't say, Stephen de Krashen didn't say that zero anxiety context. He said low anxiety. Okay. So that would be the comprehensible. So we have said, and he has also said, Stephen de Krashen, that anxiety must output less. Okay. And he has also called another theory that is called affective filter hypothesis. If anybody is afraid, okay, গত কাল আমি একটা জিনিস মানে মাথায় একটা জিনিস চলে আসলো ঘুমাতে আগে, তো এটাকে আমি ইরাডিকেট করার জন্য একটু এমনি ফানি ক্লিপ দেখছিলাম। ওকে, তো এক স্কুল টিচার এসেছেন, এসে বলছে যে এই তোমাকে তো বলছে এখন আমাকে দেখে ভয় পাওয়ার দরকার নেই, তুমি তো টেনে টুনে ম্যাথে 33 পেয়েছি, যদি তুমি 33 না পেতে তাহলে তো তুমি পাশই করতে না, আজ তো অনেক বড় অফিসার হয়েছে, তারপরে অনেক কিছু বকাঝকা করছে। বলছে আজকে তোমাকে মারপিট করবো না, অঙ্কে ভুল করলে, অঙ্কের শিক্ষক এসছে ছাত্রকে, অনেক বড় অফিসার হয়েছে। তারপরে উত্তর দিচ্ছে যে না, অ্যাকচুয়ালি আপনি তো আমাকে অনেক কথা বললেন, আমি আপনাকে কিছু বলি নাই, আপনি বসেন চা খেয়ে যান। ছাত্র বলছে। তারপরে উনি বললেন যে আসলে ছাত্র শিক্ষকের কাছে সবসময় কি থাকে, ছাত্রের বয়স কখনো বাড়ে না, শিক্ষকের কাছে ছাত্রের বয়স কখনো বাড়ে না। সো এই ভয় যখন থাকে, উই হ্যাড বিন টকিং দিস ইন টার্মস অফ অ্যাফেক্টিভ ফিল্টার। ইফ you are very much afraid, then your output, your learning will not be competence will not be activated properly. Okay, and for this reason he has also developed, that means Stephen Dickerson also developed a theory that is called affective filter hypothesis, and that is the last hypothesis in Stephen Dickerson's monitor model. So most probably you have understood that monitor model is a language theory, and from that theory, so monitor model is a theory, and that theoretical underpinning can be called approach, and from that approach, from that theory, we have got a method, that is natural method or natural approach. Okay, so in this method we have got both condition oriented and process oriented behavior of the learner. A similar thing we have got with another linguist. Tarsi D. Terrell's natural approach is another method which is derived from a particular view of language. So a method will be derived from a theory. Theory means that can be the assumption, onuman, that can be the views on language. So here another natural approach, another Terrell D's natural approach is derived from a view of language. Natural approach specifies both process and condition, just like the previous one. Similarly, the language theory underlies the method like counseling, learning, and the silent way. In the same way, we have said that a language theory will derive other two methods. What are the methods? Counseling, learning, and the silent way. So আমরা ন্যাচারাল মেথডের নাম শুনলাম, এরপরে আরো দুটো মেথডের নাম শুনছি। হোয়াট আর দ্যাট কাউন্সেলিং, ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ লার্নিং, অর দ্য সাইলেন্ট ওয়ে। দে আর অলসো derived from a language theory, okay, or a view of language. And these two methods basically reveal the learning conditions in which language learning is presumed to be held. Actually, language, we have said that method will be responding to either condition or process, that means the psychological or psycho-linguistic development, and condition means the condition in which the learning takes place. So here actually these two theories, that is counseling, language learning, and the silent way, will be responding to the condition in which language learning will be taking place. Okay, actually another one, Charles Ekuran pioneered the counseling learning, language learning in 1972. So counseling learning was pioneered by a linguist. His name is Charles Ekuran. Counseling language learning focuses primarily on the condition. For the successful behavior, counseling means if you have problem in your business, what you will do? You can do or consult to some other businessman that, sir, I have a problem. I am getting bankrupt. So can you help me? The businessman will be helping you. Oh, you can do this. Don't put all your eggs in a single basket. So just like the prescription or the advices he will be giving. Salsa Quran developed such kind of language teaching, and that is called counseling language learning. So you will not be, many students feel shy for attending classes in a formal setting. They can't respond properly because they feel shy. They might afraid in case of learning theories. And these learning theories will be occurring, this counseling theories, he said that actually, do you belong this batch? Do you belong this batch? So why you are late, sir? Whatever may be the place, okay? JM is for all of the students. For the next class, you will not be allowed to enter in the class, okay? If you come after me. Be careful. Go. Visit a place quickly. So the counseling language learning we had been taking, that is many adult person will feel shy. Okay. That I will be telling or responding in such a way, some other will say that yes, I will be asking a silly question, other will think that, oh, I don't know the answer of this silly question. It means that he or she feels shy in case of learning. Whenever you will be getting a counsel, we will be going to get counsel from some of your senior brothers or juniors, then you will be feeling shy. So this counsel language learning is developed by Quran, and it is for the condition. Condition means in the condition the language learning happened. What is the condition? Language learning happened in the classroom. But in case of classroom learning, in case of counseling learning, Charles Quran said that no, you will not go to class. You will go directly to the person. And you will be talking to him in a very friendly manner, without any afraid, without any shame. Okay. And for this reason, that counseling language learning theory is derived from a view of language, and that view is relating to condition oriented. What is the condition? That means the condition in which language learning will be. So we have got another method, that is the counsel language learning and the silent way. These are dealing with the process oriented language view. So condition oriented language. Okay. And secondly, this counseling learning method tries to reduce the feeling of intimidation. Intimidation, that means feeling of afraid. Afraid and insecurity. Insecurity means insecurity for what? Not other will come to attack you with another weapon. Not like that. Insecurity means insecurity of prestige. Someone, what did I say? I said that, yeah, if I make this question in this whole class, other will start laughing. হাসতে শুরু করবে যে ও আল্লাহ এই কোশ্চেনের উত্তর জানেন না, তাহলে এইটা যে এটা হলো কি, এটা সিকিউরিটি। কি ধরনের সিকিউরিটি? সেন্স অফ স্ট্যাটাস, যে একটা অন্য কি বলবে। ওকে, সো সাচ কাইন্ড অফ ইনসিকিউরিটি উইল নট বি দেয়ার when you will be go to have counsel relating to your language learning. Okay, one of my friends, he is now the teacher of University of Adelaide, কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স পড়েছে, কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স পড়েছে, পরে ক্যামব্রিজ থেকে লেখাপড়া করলো, এখন সে হলো অ্যাডিলেড অস্ট্রেলিয়ার হলো টিচার। Before going to sit for the IELTS exam, my friend was getting education regarding the phonetics and phonology. So what can I do? What is this? Okay, so that is his position. That means he was taking counsel from others. So there is no matter of shame, there is no matter of insecurity and others, and that is what that is happening in counseling language learning, and that method is derived from a view of language. And what type of view? That is condition oriented theory of language. So another important language learning method is James Asha total physical response. We will be dealing with that such kind of theory in this course a bit later. But before that, what type? That is total physical response. Total physical response. TRP. TPR. So this theory is derived from a language learning theory. Language learning theory. Okay. So there are two kinds of theory. One language learning theory and another language theory. Language theory and language learning theory. One is condition and another is language cognitive developments. Okay. So learning theory as well as from a theory of the nature of language. So this theory, total physical response, is relating to the both aspect. What did I say at the initial stage? আমরা বলছিলাম যে একটা মেথড কোন একটা থিওরি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের দুটো অ্যাসপেক্টকেই হচ্ছে টাচ করতে পারে। যেমন স্টিফেন ডি ক্রাশনের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা দেখলাম যে সেখানে প্রসেস ওরিয়েন্টেড এবং কন্ডিশন ওরিয়েন্টেড, ঠিক একইভাবে এখানেও বলা হচ্ছে যে total physical response will be responding the both aspect of the language. That means the language theory and the language learning theory. What type of theory? Language theory and language learning theory. Learning theory will be dealing with the condition, and language theory will be dealing of the nature of the language, so the view of the language, just like the previous one. That is the view of the language. Asher's learning theory enhances both the process and the condition aspects of the language process and the condition. Total physical response is based on the view that child language learning is based on physical motor activities. Physical motor activities, that means physically you will be responding, you will not be using your lips. কথা বলার জন্য আপনি মুখ ব্যবহার করবেন না, কেউ কিছু বলবে আর আপনি কি করবেন? Come here, you will go there. Without not responding your mouth, but you will be. What does it mean? That means you can understand what the speaker is speaking. আপনি শুনছেন, কি বলছেন, তখন আপনি ওই কথা শুনে কি করবেন? তখন আপনি it said that when you will be responding some word with your physical activities, then your brain can understand and memorize this thing very quickly. That is the idea of this total physical response. So it is a method, and that is derived from a theory of language, and also theory of language learning. So this type of physical activities evolve on the coordination between language and activities. And this view of language learning can be applied for adults foreign language and the second language learning. Again, I can give that definition that many people will feel shy. কথা বলতে, ও আল্লাহ, আমি এটা যদি প্রোনাউন্সিয়েশন করি, বলতে আসে, এটা কি বলবে? প্রসিডিউর যদি বলি, ও ইটস প্রসিডিউর, ইট ইজ প্রসিডিউর, ইটস নট ডেরিভেশন, ইটস নট ডেরিভেশন, ইটস নট ডেরিভেশন, ইটস ডেরিভেশন প্রসিডিউর, অ্যাকচুয়ালি, ফিজিক্যালি, নট ফিজিক্যালি। আমি যদি এরকম উচ্চারণ করি তাহলে তো কি হবে? ক্লাসে আমি এই উচ্চারণটা পারি না। এই যে একটা ধরনের একটা ফিলিং কাজ করে, ফিলিং অফ shame, shy, and that shyness, the feeling of shyness will be eradicated. কারণ আপনাকে কথা বলতে হচ্ছে না। Okay, I can say, raise your hand. You will say, take a flower from the table. You will give the flower to your friend. Okay, so. There is no, এখানে লজ্জা করার কিছু নেই, কারণ আপনার মুখে কি করতে হচ্ছে না, এবং আপনি কি দিয়ে শুনছেন, মাথা দিয়ে শুনছেন। So এখানে, so this total physical response is relating to process and condition oriented views of language. So language learning theory and the language learning. So language understanding will be occurred with the body movements. So কিভাবে সে বুঝতে পারছে? তার body movement করে। And next time physical action show or provide the condition for successful language production. Solid body movement এর মাধ্যমে সে কি করছে, সেটা সে বুঝতে পারছে, এবং যখন সে কাজটা করছে এটা হচ্ছে তার ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ প্রোডাকশন। ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ প্রোডাকশন আমরা এর আগে জানতাম কি, আমরা যদি কথা বলতে পারি আর যদি লিখতে পারি এটা প্রোডাকশন, বাট ইন কেস অফ টোটাল ফিজিক্যাল রেসপন্স প্রোডাকশন উইল বি ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট টু ইয়োর অ্যাক্টিভিটিস, ফিজিক্যাল অ্যাক্টিভিটিস। ওকে, another thing is that what we can call it Caleb, or Caleb, you can call it, because Caleb get and goes silent way. Previously you have said that silent way is built on a language theory of the condition necessary for the successful language learning. Silent way, okay, and successful language learning. So this silent way is relating to what type of theory? Language theory, not learning theory. Silent way views that the needs and the necessity for the learner's security and assumes the total and conscious control of the language learning. That means in the class, okay, everybody will be silent. So through the silent way, there will be no chaos. There will be no other things of insecurity and shameness. And with the mental coolness, the learner and the teacher will be learning. Teacher will be delivering lecture, and the learner will be delivering, will be understanding the lecture. Why? Because there will be no distraction. There is no other things. And the coolness of mind can, এটা বলা হয়ে থাকে যে সকালবেলা উঠলে পড়ালেখা ভালো হয় ঘুম থেকে উঠলে, কারণ ঘুমটা তখন মস্তিষ্কটা কি থাকে, ফ্রেশ. ওকে, so that is the view of language theory, that you have to understand language quite clearly without making any sound, without making any physical action. If total physical action was dealing with the physical action, but silent will be dealing with no action, no movement, no speaking. Okay, so in the silent way, the many techniques are applied to train learners. So many techniques. So silent way, এই শিক্ষার্থীদের কথা না বলেই কোনো কিছু শেখাতে হবে. ওকে, সো এখানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের টেকনিক ব্যবহৃত হতে পারে. সো দ্যাট আর দ্য টেকনিক্স. মোস্ট প্রবাবলি ইউ হ্যাভ আন্ডারস্টুড দ্য টেকনিক আমরা বুঝতে পেরেছি. ওকে, সো heighten learning potential to of a second language or the foreign language learner. So there are two kinds of theories. Theories of language and the theories of language learning. And there is of course a natural affiliation or affinities. Affiliation means সংযুক্ত, আর affinities মানে হচ্ছে একদম রক্তের সম্পর্ক. Affinities between language theories and learning theories. So both theories. Different pairings between language theories and learning theories might occur for the successful second or foreign language. So different pairing. So with theories, one method will be pairing with language theories, or one method might be pairing with learning theories. Even a language theory, more than 2 or 3 methods can be paired with a single language theory or a single learning. So in such a way, a method will be developed with the help of the view of language, that is the language theory, or the learning theory, that means in which the language learning took place. Have you understood what is approach and what is method? So approach is the theory. What type of theory we have? Language theory and learning. From the language theory, we may have more than one method. From the learning theory, we may have more than one methods. And technique is other extension, the classroom activities. For example, structuralism is a linguistic theory, and behaviorism is a learning theory. So structuralism is a theory developed by Noam Chomsky. He said that in every language there is a structure. That is the language theory. And behaviorism, he said that actually language learning is a part of human behavior. If it becomes a part of your behavior, in the next semester, most probably you will have that course, and in that course we will be, the previous student, they have learned it earlier. আগে ওই কোর্সটা করার উচিত ছিল সবারই তাহলে. Okay, so behaviorist theory is a learning theory. So next time, this very learning theory, behaviorism, initiates a method called audiolingualism. So on the basis of behaviorism, what type of theory? That is learning theory. And from that learning theory, a method was developed. That is, what is the method? That is audiolingualism. And some say direct method also. Audiolingualism and direct method both are derived from the behaviorist theory of language learning. Got it? Any confusion? Okay. So such kind of linkages will not always occur. এই যে আমরা বললাম মেথড অ্যান্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের থিওরির ভিউয়ের মধ্যে যে একটা লিঙ্কেজ থাকবে, দ্য সাচ উইল নট অলওয়েজ অকার. ফর এক্সাম্পল, cognitive code proponent is linked to a more sophisticated model of structuralism. We have said that from structuralism, this is a cognitive code proponent. So it is a method, and that method is the higher linked to a higher level of structuralism. Okay. So, and again, it is linked to a more mentalistic and less behavioristic learning theory. So it is dealing with the mentalistic view of language and also the behavioristic view, that means condition oriented view of language, of a language. Okay. So at the level of an approach, language learning is concerned with the theoretical principle. Most probably we have understood all well. Okay, and this theoretical principle might be from the language theory or a learning theory. And in case of learning language theory, model of language competence, the basic features of linguistic organization, language theory and also the language uses are the principal concern. Okay, and on the contrary, in the learning theory, the central process of learning, that is the condition, context, believed to promote successful language learning, are important factors. Some say that yes, you can study in your library. Some say no, not the library, you will be studying in your reading room at home. Some say no, you will be reading at the time of traveling by bus. Some say no, you will be reading at the time of traveling by plane. যখন যুদ্ধ লাগে তখন বড় রাজারা কি করে, বিশাল বড় প্লেন নিয়ে তারা উপরে থাকে। অনেক ব্যস্ত মানুষরা বলে যে আসলে বই পড়ার সময় পায় না, তো বলছে একটা সময় পড়ি, এই প্লেনে 12 ঘন্টা যখন জার্নি করি কি করব, ওই সময় প্লেন, সো প্লেনে বই পড়ি। সো লার্নিং থিওরিটা হলো কি, আপনি কোথায় পড়বেন সেটাকে condition that learning will take, and the language theory, that is the view of language and the condition of other language. Okay, and these very principles may lead to a method, and language teachers may develop their own teaching procedures based on a particular language theory or a learning theory. So teacher will be developing their technique, and even all the methods we have at present in our hand, এটা বাদ রেখেও একজন টিচার আরেকজন নিজের একটা মেথড কি করতে পারে, ডেভেলপ করতে পারে, কিপিং দ্যাট ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থিওরি অর লার্নিং থিওরি। ওকে, এজন্য সমস্ত কিছু আগের বড় বড় কবি সাহিত্যিকরাই লিখে গেছেন, আমাদের লেখার কোনো কিছু নাই এটা বলা যাবে না। দ্যাট মিনস ইউ মাইট বি দ্য টিচার অ্যান্ড ইউ ক্যান অলসো ডেভেলপ ইউর ওন মেথড কিপিং আ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থিওরি অর আ লার্নিং। Okay. So this type of language teaching and learning method may revise, vary, modify and develop on the basis of the performance, reaction and instructional practices of the learner. A group of teachers may follow same language and learning theory, and that means a similar approach, but their implementation keys, that mean the method might be different from each other. So two teachers may follow the one language theory, but their method will be different according to their own perspective. And also if their method is different, their technique of course will be different. And approach doesn't specify the procedure of the method. Approach বলে দিচ্ছে না, approach কি বলছে, শুধুমাত্র বলছে যে every language will have a structure. Approach বলছে যে yes, language learning is a part of behavior. এজন্য approach will not direct you that in which way the language learning will be held. And again, language and learning theories do not dictate a particular set of teaching tactics. So in the same way, approach যেমন method কে dictate করবে না যে এটা আবার approach and that would be this method. No. At the same time, the method will not dictate other techniques. Technique will be implemented by the teachers, learners and others. And the linkages between theory and practice is called design. So the linkages between approach, method and techniques, these linkages is called design. So there are two types of theory, language theory or learning theory. For example, structuralism is a language theory, behaviorism is a learning theory. From structuralism, more than one method can derive. From behaviorism, more than one method can derive. From method, other techniques will be derived, and other techniques will be getting in existence. So there is a solid linkage between approach, method and technique. These linkages between approach, method and technique is called the design of language learning. So with that note we can conclude, and we will have 15 minutes break, and after the break we will go to the second half.